I was sending out my resumes to churches to see if I could get a normal job in ministry. And something occurred to me. The process that we have of getting a preacher for our local churches is exactly like 1 Timothy 4, what is it, verse 8? And what it is that we are collecting for ourselves people who say the things that we want them to say. We have itching ears for somebody that speaks exactly like we want to hear. That's not what you'll get with me. One of the reasons that an independent minister can be of great value is because all the people that are paid to minister on a local level, they have their salary held over their heads. I'm happy to be in a place of freedom where I can offer exactly who I am for the work that I am cut out to do. And if you believe in my family and I, then you can get behind us. I believe that the words that I have are something like Paul Coleman. He would play in a pub, he would play at a church, and the people in the church go, "You play in a pub." And the people in the pub would go, "You play in a church." And he has a song, "In the Middle." They're somewhere in the middle. And that's exactly the voice that this world needs. The world needs somebody with the middle voice, a bridge builder, a peacemaker with the things of God, and not just trying to get somebody to go to church. You can't do a Google search and get a good definition of what the prophetic ministry is. So you have to use discernment, you have to use the scriptures, and if you open your eyes up to what's in there, there are a lot of good things about a prophetic ministry. You know, my friend Tim Catcham wrote a book on the apostolic ministries, and you know, it was kind of a big deal for a Church of Christ kid to be writing such a book, and it got me to thinking, where are the apostolic ministries and where are the prophetic ministries in our day and age? I want you to think for a moment about what a prophet was back in the days. Did Israel ever listen to their prophets? The message of a prophet is you got everything everybody else saying, and there's a lone voice that says something different. I didn't choose this ministry. It was given to me. If I would have chose something, I would have chose something different, because I'm an introvert. I don't like conflict, and I have found that the words that God has given me to give are often contrary. They're a contrary voice to the mainstream ways of thinking. Prophetic ministry is someone who gets their words from God. So I challenge you, just like I heard growing up from the pulpit always. I always heard, whether it was my dad or somebody else, don't just believe what I'm saying, check the scriptures. And a lot of these conversations have to do with getting into the Word, digging in, throwing away some of the assumptions that we've had about some of these scriptures and seeing it with fresh eyes, because God has a message for our world. What's an organic parable? Well, organic is a part of a whole, and a parable is a story that gives the spiritual meaning. And that's kind of like one of the anchors of the teachings that I'm doing here.
When somebody else can say it better than you can, like this quote, "The Spirit, like a good poet, knows that metaphors, analogies, and images are not the best tools we're going to find for getting at the truth. They're the only ones."
And I'd like to be out there speaking, and as a family we make crafts and sell them for profit. We are looking at mobilizing and being a mobile ministry as a family, and that's going to take some resources to be mobile.
When I was editing, I realized it might have sounded like I was independently wealthy or something with that freedom, but my freedom doesn't come from financial freedom. In the Dave Ramsey sense, we are financially free in that we do not have debt. Our freedom comes from God and the conviction. Take a step off and believe that God is going to uphold us, like the imagery that's given in the scriptures that the ox is worthy of eating grass while he's plowing. When we found out about Patreon, we thought it was a perfect fit. It's a good platform for keeping your content and keeping it to the people who believe in it and support it without any kind of advertising revenue to worry about. And also, it just seems like a good place to keep in touch, like in the old missionary sense of keeping up with the people who are sponsoring you, so you can look at the patron pages and check out what's going on with us, where we are, and what we're doing. If you believe in us and believe in some of these words that I'm saying here, we ask you to put in and show some love.